You feel it, don't you? A dull, persistent ache behind the eyes. A frustration that curdles in your stomach during late-night drives home from the office. You did everything right. You got the grades. You earned the degree. You learned the skills. You show up on time. You hit your deadlines. You produce quality work. You are the model student, the perfect employee, and yet you are stuck. You are watching others, people you know are less competent, less dedicated, glide past you with an infuriating ease. You see them in meetings, charming the room with anecdotes while you have the data that matters. You hear the whispers of their promotion, a reward for a project you secretly salvaged. You feel the sting of being called reliable while they are called visionary. Your perfect record, your immaculate performance, has earned you the grand prize of being taken for granted. A pillar of the temple, strong and essential, but forever stationary, forever holding things up for others. Let me be the first to tell you the uncomfortable truth. That feeling is not a sign of your failure. It is not evidence of your inadequacy. Stop blaming yourself. Stop wondering what more you could have done. That feeling of being cheated by a system you served faithfully is a symptom. It is a warning sign. It is the canary in the coal mine of your soul, gasping for air, telling you that the environment you are in is toxic, built on a fundamental deception. The deception is this, the great lie of the modern world. Doing your job well and being a good person is enough to get ahead. You were sold a map to a city of gold called Meritocracy, a shining city on a hill where rewards are proportionate to effort and skill. But you have arrived at your destination only to find a muddy, chaotic, and deeply political camp. And the ones who thrive here are not the best map readers. They are the ones who understood the terrain all along. Look around you. A 2023 Gallup poll revealed that over 50% of U.S. workers are quiet quitting, with another 18% being loud quitters. That is a collective, guttural roar of disillusionment from millions who played the game by the rules and found the game was rigged. It's the sound of the good student hangover reaching epidemic proportions. So the question becomes, what if the rules you so diligently followed were never meant to lead to your victory, but only to ensure your orderly participation in someone else's? To understand the nature of this trap, you must turn away from the vapid advice of modern career coaches and listen to a prophet who diagnosed this sickness 500 years ago. His name was Machiavelli. He is not the cartoon villain history has made him out to be. He was a brutally honest physician of power, a man who was exiled and tortured for daring to write down how the world actually works, not how we piously wish it would. Machiavelli's gift to us, his scalpel for dissecting your predicament, is a concept he called the verità effettuale della cosa, the effectual truth of the matter. He issued a stark warning: any leader, any person, who mistakes how one caught to live for how one does live will ruin himself. He was drawing a line in the sand between the imaginary world of morality and the real, effectual world of human action and its consequences. You, my friend, are a casualty of this mistake. You live in the world of ought. You believe people ought to be rewarded for hard work. You believe managers ought to recognize objective quality. You believe organizations ought to function as rational meritocracies. You have built your entire professional identity inside this beautiful, pristine, imaginary world, and it has become your prison. Your rivals, the ones who seem to break all the rules and win, are not smarter than you. They are simply operating in the effectual truth. They understand that power is a current, and you must swim with it. They know that human beings are driven by fear, ego, and self-interest, not by a noble appreciation for a well-formatted report. They understand that the perception of value is often more potent than value itself. Think about it. The colleague who spends an hour every morning just talking to people, mapping the social terrain, understanding who is allied with whom, who is insecure, who holds the true influence. You dismiss this as schmoozing. You see it as a waste of time. But in the world of effectual truth, they are not wasting time. They are gathering vital intelligence. They are building the alliances that will make their mediocre project seem essential, while your brilliant work, done in isolation, goes unnoticed. You don't have a performance problem. You have an effectual truth problem. You don't have a time management problem. You have a power blindness problem. You are bringing a textbook to a knife fight. You are trying to win a game of chess by only moving your pawns forward one space at a time because you believe that is the right way to play, while your opponent is using their queen, their knights, and their bishops to control the entire board. This is not a glitch in the corporate system. This is the system. Machiavelli saw it in the courts of Renaissance Italy, with its mercenary captains and treacherous popes. It is the same dynamic at play in the sterile corridors of Silicon Valley, in the halls of academia, in the non-profit world, and even in your local parent-teacher association. Where there are human beings, there is this game of power. To pretend otherwise is not virtue. It is a dangerous and self-inflicted blindness. Machiavelli warned that a prince must know how to act like a beast. He must be both the lion, to frighten the wolves, and the fox. To recognize the traps, you have been taught only to be the lamb. You have been praised for your gentle, predictable, and ultimately consumable nature. The system doesn't want more lions or foxes. It wants a flock of well-behaved sheep. Your compliance is the price of your supposed safety. And this is where the lie gets deeper, more sinister. It is not just that you were given the wrong map. The map itself is a tool of control. Its purpose is to keep you manageable. For this, we must turn to a modern student of power, a man who has taken Machiavelli's brutal insights and codified them for our age, Robert Greene. Greene, in his masterwork, The 48 Laws of Power, extends the diagnosis. He reveals that the world is a giant royal court. In court, you do not rise by working harder than everyone else in the stables. You rise by mastering the subtle art of appearances, influence, and strategic positioning, the good student virtues you hold so dear. Humility, excessive honesty, crediting others, are, in the court, recipes for disaster. Consider the virtues they programmed into you. Be humble. Don't brag. Let your work speak for itself. In the world of effectual truth, this is suicide. Greene's Law 3 is, conceal your intentions. Law 6 is court attention at all costs. Law 25 is, recreate yourself. The system you are in actively punishes those who follow the rules you were taught. Your goodness becomes your weakness. Your good student hangover is not an accident. It is the result of a deliberate, lifelong conditioning process. It starts in kindergarten. Raise your hand. Color inside the lines. Please the authority figure, the teacher. The reward is a gold star. You were trained year after year to be an expert at pleasing the person in charge. This makes you the perfect subordinate. It makes you a terrible strategist of your own life. You were taught that office politics is a dirty word, a distraction from the real work. This is the most potent deception of all. To convince you to despise the very language of power is to render you permanently illiterate in its grammar. It is to ensure you never even try to understand the game. Your moral objection to playing the game is the very mechanism that keeps you a perpetual pawn on the board. It's not that you're too good for politics, it's that you've been conditioned to be bad at it. The system benefits from your naivete. It needs a critical mass of diligent, rule-following, politically illiterate workers to function. You are the bedrock. You are the foundation. But nothing interesting ever happens in the foundation. The grand halls and sunlit towers are built upon your quiet, uncomplaining, and unrewarded labor. The lie is engineered. Your struggle is not only predictable, it is a designed outcome. Your frustration is the friction generated by a machine functioning exactly as it was intended. It should fill you with a cold, righteous anger. It should replace your self-blame with a burning clarity. You have not failed. You have been deceived. And the first step to escaping any prison is to realize you are in one. So, the cell door stands open. You see the bars for what they are. You understand the nature of the lie. What now? Do you become the cynical, manipulative monster you've always despised? This is the false choice the system presents to keep you paralyzed, remain a naive victim, or become a ruthless predator. This is the final layer of the deception. The path to liberation is not about abandoning your integrity. It is about arming it. The antidote to the good student hangover is not ruthlessness. It is the cultivation of strategic competence and political awareness. This is the liberation. This is how you escape the trap. This is how you fuse your skill, your dedication, and your integrity with the wisdom necessary to navigate the world as it is. Strategic competence is not about being a better employee. It is about becoming the strategist of your own career. It means you stop thinking about your next task and start thinking about your next 2 years. It means you look at your organization not as a hierarchy of job titles, but as a web of influence, interests, and insecurities. It means you perform your job with excellence, but you aim that excellence at projects that grant you visibility and leverage, not just a pat on the head. Political awareness is not about gossiping by the water cooler. It is the sophisticated skill of understanding human nature. It is listening to what is not said in a meeting. It is understanding that your boss's secret insecurity is a more powerful motivator for them than the company's mission statement. It is recognizing that helping a rival solve a problem can create a debt that is more valuable than any formal authority. You must reframe this entire enterprise. Learning to be strategic is not a betrayal of your values. It is the only way to protect them. Your brilliant ideas, your capacity for good work, your potential to mentor others, all of it will amount to nothing if you cannot navigate the human currents to bring them into reality. Power is not inherently evil. It is a force, like electricity. You can use it to build a hospital or to power an electric chair. To refuse to understand it is to cede its use entirely to those with less noble intentions. Imagine a master sailor. She possesses deep technical knowledge of how to build and maintain her ship. This is your good student's skill set, your competence, but her mastery lies not in the ship alone. Her true genius is in her ability to read the unseen forces, the subtle shift in the wind, the change in the water's color that signals a coming current, the shape of the clouds that foretells a storm. She does not complain that the wind is unfair. She adjusts her sails. You have been obsessed with building the perfect ship, locked away in a dry dock, while your rivals have been out on the water, learning the winds. It is time to leave the harbor. It is time to accept the effectual truth of the sea. Your integrity is the keel that keeps you stable. Your competence is the hull that keeps you afloat. But your strategic awareness, that is the sail. And without it, you are going nowhere. The world will not save you. The system is not broken, it is working. It benefits from your slumber. Your boss will not have a sudden epiphany and recognize your hidden genius. Your colleagues will not stop playing the game just because you refuse to. The choice, as always, is yours. It rests entirely with you. You can retreat. You can fall back into the warm, familiar comfort of resentment. You can continue to be the good student, collecting gold stars in a game that doesn't matter, complaining that life is unfair. You can nurse the hangover, blaming the world for your headache, or you can choose to wake up. You can choose to see the world as it is, and to arm yourself with the wisdom to navigate it. This is not an easy path. It requires you to study human nature with the dispassionate clarity of a scientist. It requires you to be observant, patient, and subtle. It requires you to act with intention, not on impulse. It is a greater challenge than simply putting your head down and doing the work. It is the work behind the work. It is the price of inner sovereignty. This is not about becoming someone you are not. It is about becoming more fully yourself, your competent, ethical, brilliant self, now equipped with the armor and the weapons to survive and thrive in the real world. It is about ensuring that your contributions are not wasted, that your voice is not silenced, that your work has an impact beyond your own desk. It is about choosing effective action over righteous impotence. The lie told you to be good and wait for your reward. The truth tells you that your reward will be seized by others unless you are wise enough to secure it. The lie told you to follow the rules of the syllabus. The lie told you to follow the rules of the syllabus. The truth demands you understand the laws of the jungle. The good student hangover ends the moment you stop waiting for the teacher to call on you and start taking your education into your own hands. The lesson is over. It is time to begin your mastery.